Hello and welcome back to another video on one of my favorite stocks at the moment, which is Nebius. If you're new here, my name is Howard. I'm a retail investor just like you. And this account is about me sharing my research and also my actions in terms of what investments I'm making at the moment. So one of my favorite stocks, as I said, is Nebius. We're going to start off, we're going to jump into, we're pre-market at the moment. You can see we've had a nice little pop pre-market, up 3%, where everything else is a bit wobbly, maybe a bit red today, and we're up 3%. So I wanted to dig into that a little bit. And the reason we're up 3% is actually not because of Nebius itself, but it's because of another company that does the same thing in the data center space, which is Coreweave. So these guys are actually up 10% and spoken about it before. But if you're invested in Nebius or any of the data center plays, these guys, Coreweave, Nebius, and IREN, all move in lockstock. They move very closely together because they're all around the same theme of this kind of data center space. Coreweave has popped 10%, which is a big move because it's a bigger market cap. And that is on the news over here if we move on to it. And that is that Nvidia has invested $2 billion into Coreweave, around like $87 a share, I believe, something like that. It's in the 80s, $82, $87 a share. They're already investors into Coreweave, and they're also investors into Nebius as well. And what they've done is strengthen that relationship by investing further into the tune of $2 billion. And this is essentially for, as you can probably guess, building out of data centers. If we dig into this, they said the relationship, or this kind of complementary relationship, is to enable Coreweave to accelerate the build out of more than 5 gigawatts of AI factories by 2030. So this investment has gone into Coreweave. Why the hell does this matter for Nebius? So as I mentioned, these stocks kind of move in lockstep. They do trade together. But what I think it is telling everyone just how confident people are about the build out of these data centers and how much they're going to be needed to be used in the future, which is, of course, very, very good news for Nebius. This shows that this is not just kind of flash in the pan and we need to build out this compute just for now, but it shows that we just need to they just need to keep their foot down and build these as quick as possible. And 5 gigawatts, to put that into perspective, a video I did the other day, we spoke about this here, which is Nebius's own, their new factory that they're building in Kansas City, their new data center in Kansas City. And this is planned to come online to be finished by 2029, I believe. And this is 800 megawatts, so 0.8 gigawatts. So what Coreweave have announced today is they're planning to build the size of effectively multiple of these by 2030. So they really are putting the foot down and trying to grow this. So what does this mean in the long term for Nebius? Well, again, it strengthens the investment thesis that we think this is going to continue to grow in the future. And also another thing I think we should be looking at is that, Nebius also has a big investor in the form of Nvidia. They're already in a partnership. This provides lots of benefits, not only the monetary benefit of having them as an investor, but it also means they have a partnership. And one of Nebius's big suppliers is, of course, Nvidia. They consume a lot of Nvidia chips to provide them to their customers. It also means that they can get ahead of the pack on stuff like the new Vera Rubin chips. Nebius is going to be one of the first people to be able to offer these to their customers later on this year. And they're also very, very quick at the build out of the Blackwell chips for the same reason that they have Nvidia as an investor. And so moving back into what does this mean for the stock? Well, we're talking very short term here. These things fluctuate so quickly because of the news around AI, but it does show you how hot the market is around the AI names at the moment that we can get a little pop for something like this. In terms of trading, we know we've been around this kind of $80 to $110 mark for quite a while now. If we take this off the highs, which is just below $140, we're still seeing further consolidation here, which, to be honest, I'm not too unhappy about. I am looking to build this position and improve on it further if I get the chance and it dipped a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging. I'm just going to be keeping track on how this company performs. Is it going to get any more big investment from places like Nvidia? And if so, that means that we might be able to get some ideas on how quickly they're looking at accelerating their build outs. We know they're purchasing, so they're already purchasing with existing data centers to be able to use them like they have recently done in Israel. And I believe they've also partnered with someone inside the United Kingdom as well. So we want to see those announcements keep on coming. We want to see their revenue growing. And we also just want to see more people using Nebius. We want to see their customers grow and their revenue growing over time. We do have the Q4 earnings that are going to be coming up very soon. And in that, we're going to look for improved guidance on what they're going to give for 2026. I think they've said around about 7 to 9 billion ARR by the end of the year. So that's the ARR that we want to get by the end of the year, the last month of the year. It'll be good to get some ideas on what they're thinking about total revenue, because that will also help us get an idea on how quick they're planning on growing, and also an idea of their valuation as well. Because if you look at their backlog, well, we've got a market cap of 23 billion at the moment. They've got around 17 billion just in one deal with Microsoft in terms of backlog. So they're trading pretty much near to market cap is the same as their backlog at the moment. There's, of course, lots of ifs and buts on when they can execute on this, how much money they can make on it, which is why, it has pulled back from that $140 mark. But as they continue to execute, and we can see their revenue and their growth is real, fears about this AI trade or an AI bubble hopefully start to drop down a little bit, and we can see Nebius really stretch its leg. And then just touching on another little bit of news I've just seen pop up on Twitter as well from Aware Wealth. So on January 27th, we'll have Nebius stepping into the spotlight with Nvidia. So they're going to be doing some sort of talk in Israel, I believe. So they do have quite a bit of data center activity inside of Israel, Nebius. They've got 2 or 3 data centers in there at the moment. So they're obviously doing a lot there, and it's going to be exciting to see them and Nvidia get together. It's also with Roman, who has a fantastic interview on YouTube. I can't remember the YouTuber that did it yet. But if you want to have a search and hear this guy speaks, really, really interesting to hear him speak where Nebius has come from and also where it goes in the future. I love hearing founders speak and also just executive teams speak. You can really get an idea of what their plans are. Are they just planning on running this business and hopefully it grows, or are they really knitted into the product and their customers, and they want to take over the whole industry of what they're operating at? So I really would recommend you give this one a listen. Apart from that, I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to be providing updates on Nebius when I see them come through, because as I said, this is one of the areas that I'm most excited about at the moment inside my YouTube portfolio, which I will be doing an update on soon. I do hold Nebius, and I'm planning on increasing my purchases of Nebius in there as well, because I'm excited about what they can do over this year. So apart from that, if you're a Nebius investor, please do let me know in the comments what your current thoughts on the stock are and what your kind of predictions for how it's going to execute over this year. And apart from that, I will see you on the very next video.